Good morning, everyone. 9 a.m., 77 degrees, much muggier. As the days have gone on this week, it's gotten muggier and muggier.
Hasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I hate all the cliches like air you can wear.
Okay, I said that today. Sorry.
Did you really?
I said it. I know. Okay, I went into my I have a cliche box. Okay, I opened it and I went, okay. I don't really like using these, but sometimes you just have to. So.
It is one of those days with air you can wear. Remember, we have a meteorologist that used to fill in here.
Yeah.
And he used all of the cliches.
Oh!
He's still at one of our sister stations now. Great dude.
Yes.
But like and I don't want to call him out, but every cliche you could think of, he would put it into one forecast.
But he sold it. He sold it.
Oh, he did.
Sold it. Anyway, yeah, today's one of those. I'm so fun. Whenever I hear I will admit I used one today.
Right.
Sorry.
I'm actually excited about today because every Wednesday I'm in a women's golf league, more for the socialization, the beverages, the just being around women, not being at the house, getting away from the kids, that type of thing. Not so much for the golf game because my golf game's terrible. But we've done this for about a month now, every Wednesday for the last month. And while the days have been okay, it's gotten cool at night. We're like 5:30 to 8. Mm-hmm. And by 8, we're freezing and we're putting on jackets.
Not today.
Not today. This will be the first one where it's like, ooh, we can be out at 8 o'clock and it's going to actually feel more comfortable.
And you know, with a little bit of a breeze this afternoon, the 2 to 6 o'clock period is going to be, really stifling. Yeah. After that, the sun's getting lower. We're going to be fine. Everything's fine. Everything's going to be fine.
And this is not like a couple years ago or during COVID when it was 9 days of 90 degrees. We can handle a few.
A few, that's true. It's getting headlines because cities like New York City will be, I think tomorrow, the heat index like 109. Oof. We're going to be like 95 to 100, which is up there, but it's 3 days, and then it does break a little bit by the weekend. So,
which is good timing for the break in the temperatures for the weekend. But oh my goodness, with folks wanting to be out and have their barbecues and their
It's not over.
But boating, you gotta be careful.
You gotta be careful. And in fact, I've had a few reach out about boating. Somebody wants to boat. Does this sound like from the Marina Harbor? Where are they going? The Marina Harbor, the Sky Airport, the Buffalo Marina to Mickey Rats. They're going to Mickey Rats, and then we're going on a Saturday.
Give me an age for said boater.
Oh well, I see probably 39.
Oh.
That's the vibe I'm getting.
That person might feel a little bit old for going to Mickey Rats. I had an offer to go to Mickey Rats on the 4th of July, and I was like, thanks for the offer, but A, I will feel like I could be the mother of everyone partying at Mickey Rats, and B, I don't know if it's my scene anymore.
Embrace it, though. Go as you. Just see,
Can you imagine?
It's
hey, my mom watches you on TV. You want to do a shot?
Right.
I'm good. Thanks.
And the next thing you know.
Or maybe I do. And
next thing you know.
I'm all over Instagram and TikTok.
Melissa's playing beer pong and owning the scene.
Anyway. I'm not good at beer pong, but flip cup, that's my jam. I'm good at flip cup.
Yeah. All right, well, let's get to it. We've got now that we know, Melissa's plans was to not go to Mickey Rats, but we may have turned the page on that plan.
Maybe you'll see me there.
I think she might be there. Anybody want a Melissa sighting? Mickey Rats, the place to be on the 4th. All right, let's get to it. There are the numbers that we have for today, a high of around 90 degrees. In fact, that'll be the high tomorrow as well, and Friday, with heat index values between 95 and 105 in one of the warmer areas, which is the escarpment. That area, right, Route 31, hottest temperatures in this kind of weather pattern can be found there in terms of the high heat index. And humidity levels really skyrocketing, I shouldn't say skyrocketing, they've already hit orbit, if you will, and we're going to see high humidity levels throughout the rest of the week, coming down a bit for the weekend. But when we come down, we're still in the humid to muggy range this weekend, despite the temperatures being down a little bit. 90 degrees today. Overnight tonight into tomorrow morning, much like this morning, it is not cooling off much with temperatures in the 70s. And then tomorrow afternoon, a sneaky little thunder shower may find its way in, but generally dry. Another very hot and humid day. Okay, as for the weekend, the 4th of July is Saturday, 86, scattered thunderstorms around. A little hard to pinpoint exactly when and where, but a weak cold front's going to slide through, and along it, there could be some scattered thunderstorms. So I would say don't cancel plans yet, but just be sky aware. Some passing thunderstorms are possible Sunday as well. So over the next 5 days, you'll see the average is 79. We'll be well above that, a little closer to average by Sunday. And next week is not going to be as hot, but it's going to still be warm as we start your first full week of July next week. But this weekend, a little bumpy both Saturday and Sunday, Melissa.
Alrighty, Patrick, thank you. It is 9:05 now, 77 degrees, and with the heat index around 100 degrees today, finally the Buffalo pools will be open. It's July 1st, so they will be open. And the city's splash pads will also have extended hours during this little mini heat wave. Each pool, by the way, operates 5 days a week, so it's important to check before you go whether it's going to be open. Officials say now is the time also to get your free pool ID, which every person needs to go into a city pool. Sign up ahead of time so you can also avoid those long lines. And today is Canada Day, so happy Canada Day to our neighbors to the north, but we've been seeing these backups all morning long. Oh, wow. Long delays going into the USA. This is the Rainbow Bridge right now. And yeah, you will be waiting for at least an hour in that delay there at the Rainbow Bridge. And we can also look at the Peace Bridge, I believe, or no, Lewiston, Queenston, or maybe none of them. But what we are seeing is that at the Peace Bridge and the Lewiston, Queenston, and here at the Rainbow Bridge, all of them are backed up for folks coming from Canada into the U.S. So you might want to check those border crossing times before you head out to find out which bridge will save you the most time this morning. Well, if you own a home in Buffalo, expect to start paying a little bit more for your sewer bill. The Buffalo Sewer Authority says new rates take effect today. Take a look at your screen. For the average homeowner, the increase is going to be less than $2 a month. But officials say that additional revenue will really help to fund upgrades to the city's sewer system, improve water quality, and reduce overflows into the Niagara River and other local waterways. Now, qualifying low-income residents are eligible for a discount of up to $90 a year. And for seniors who qualify, they could get a discount of just over $100 a year. Buffalo police need your help finding this missing teen. Take a look at your screen. They're looking for 17-year-old Olivia Elmore. They say she was last seen on East Eagle Street near Michigan Avenue and might be near Pleasant or Holland Avenues as well. She's 5'2" with black hair and brown eyes. If you do see her or have any more information about her whereabouts, call Buffalo Police. A Hamburg man is facing animal cruelty charges after police say that he shot his own dog in the head. Investigators responded to a home on West Canyon Drive for a welfare check Sunday morning. That's when officers found that 7-year-old German Shepherd named Sky suffering from serious injuries in the backyard. Police say the dog's owner, 62-year-old Dennis Rutkowski, allegedly shot the dog with a rifle. Sky was treated at Orchard Park Veterinary Hospital and is now recovering at the Erie County SPCA. Rutkowski is due back in court at the end of the month and has been ordered to not have any animals in the meantime. A woman from Irondequoit near Rochester is facing federal charges after prosecutors say she funded a foreign terrorist group. They're accusing Catherine Washburn of paying more than $30,000 in cryptocurrency to a person in Gaza who identified as an Islamic Jihad fighter. According to the Justice Department, the 37-year-old is the leader of the so-called Direct Action Movement for Palestinian Liberation. It's an organization formed after the October 7th, 2023 attack on Israel by Hamas. Officials say the group rejects the idea of peaceful protests and instead wants to engage in, quote, direct action. So that might include sabotage and property destruction in support of Palestine. Back in February and March of this year, the FBI's Joint Terrorism Task Force discovered some messages, they say, between Washburn and the self-identified PIJ fighter. According to the DOJ, she sent messages that you see on your screen right now saying things like, if I lived in Gaza, I would fight alongside the resistance. And I feel excited every time I see news of the killing of an occupation soldier. If she is convicted, she could face up to 20 years in prison. In Niagara County, 5 people were taken into custody following a police chase that they say involved a stolen car. The sheriff's office says police tried to pull over the vehicle just before 2 a.m. yesterday on Saunders Settlement Road in Cambria, but the driver took off. Deputies put down spike strips, which blew out a front tire, but the driver kept going for a little bit longer before pulling over. The teen driver is now charged with unlawful fleeing from police, along with several traffic violations. We don't have any information about the 4 others inside the car. And also in Niagara County in Lewiston, take a look at this. A motorcycle rider, well, maybe karma's getting to him. He's facing charges for speeding past a patrol car while doing a wheelie and then speeding off. Lewiston police shared this dash cam video of all of it, and police say they were easily able to identify and arrest him because of what he was wearing. Take a look at the hoodie. It said, ironically, "Don't get caught." Well, he did, and Gerald Lauzout Jr. now faces charges, including unlawfully fleeing in a motor vehicle and reckless driving. Elected leaders and members of the Dunkirk business community got a close look last night at what could be a major energy shift for the Lake Erie shoreline. It was all part of a Nuclear 101 information session held on the SUNY Fredonia campus. About 60 people were invited. It wasn't open to the public, but elected officials, labor leaders, and business representatives were there. And they heard from a panel of nuclear industry experts. The discussion focused on the future of the old NRG power plant in Dunkirk and whether it could one day be rebuilt as a nuclear facility. Experts say New York will need more baseload power in the coming years, pointing to major projects like Micron in Syracuse as an example of rising demand. Chautauqua County Executive P.J. Wendell says redeveloping the site could also help put it back on the tax rolls.
The governor knows the financial difficulties of the city. This would assist, and getting started as soon as possible is really what's paramount. So, the hope is it stays here and it doesn't go downstate to New York City and everywhere else where they've already got an establishment. Start doing something for upstate. Start selling upstate instead of selling it out.
And for now, state officials have not identified any official host community for a future nuclear site, and there's still no timeline for when that decision will be made. We have a heads up for anyone who's traveling at the Union Road Bridge near Clinton Street in West Seneca. Be ready for some traffic changes. The state DOT says construction is going to start back up on that bridge over the Buffalo Creek today. There had been some delays in the construction, though, because of environmental concerns surrounding a protected species of fish. But again, construction is expected to start again today, and it'll wrap up at the end of the year. Local airports are getting millions of dollars from the federal government for new upgrades. Lawmakers say the FAA is sending more than $17 million to the Buffalo Niagara Airport. The money will help to fund the reconstruction of some taxiway lights and signage, along with some repaving. And there's also millions of dollars going to other local airports as well. Stay with us. We're going to take a quick break, and then we will talk World Cup after the break, and we're going to hear from NBC Sports reporter for soccer, Nick Mendola. Stay with us.
Sorry.
Welcome back, everybody. It's 9:15, and the United States men's national team getting ready for a win or go home match in the FIFA World Cup tonight. Team USA taking on Bosnia and Herzegovina at 8 o'clock. And NBC Sports soccer reporter Nick Mendola. How does it feel for us to introduce you that way now, Nick? You've had so many different titles in the sports world.
It's awesome. I said I want to talk to you last time. It's a dream come true. I would have told you a long time ago, watching the Bills, watching the Sabres. This is amazing. I'm seeing the teams I grew up with them, I'm reporting on them. But to go to a World Cup has been unbelievable. Like, it's literally dream come true. I'm living my dream right now. It's
I know
awesome.
We got to talk about tonight's games, but so far, which games have you been to and what's next on your itinerary? What is NBC sending you to?
Yeah, I went to Canada versus Bosnia-Herzegovina. That was the first game, so I got a little background on this team. Then I went to Brazil and Haiti and Philadelphia, and tomorrow I'm going to Portugal and Croatia and Toronto, which is amazing for all your Canadian viewers. Toronto is like 2 biggest ethnic groups are Croatians and Portuguese.
Oh, I didn't know that.
It's like the most expensive. Tickets are more expensive than Mexico and U.S. games.
Come on.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Yeah.
I was actually golfing with a bunch of Canadians a couple of days ago up in Canada, and I
had no idea there was a Croatian.
I know, because I asked them what's it feeling like in Toronto, and they're like, well, Canadians really are kind of like Americans and not super excited, but it's all the other ethnicities and the visitors that are in town in Toronto that are just making it so exciting, having all the tourists.
I think we forget sometimes that Toronto, because it's so close to us and they're like our brothers, it's New York. It's
Right.
huge, like one of the biggest cities in the world. But for us, it's like, oh yeah, Toronto, the Leafs, you know?
Right.
Yeah.
So no, it's amazing.
Well, okay, so you saw Bosnia play.
Yeah.
What are your vibes about tonight's game?
So if the U.S. can come out early, they're going to be in great shape because Bosnia is a defensive team and they're not prepared to play like a back and forth type game. This is very much if you're the New Jersey Devils trap of the 1990s for Sabres fans, right? Like they want the U.S. they want this to be 0-0 as long as possible.
Okay.
And they want to come back the other way and hit us on the counterattack.
Gotcha. Okay,
So if we can get an early goal, I mean, if we get, honestly, it's crazy to say because you guys have been through this with me. We're all the same generation where the U.S. was, hey, we're okay. Hey, we're dark horses. Hey, they're good now.
Right.
And they literally are better. This could easily be a 3-1 win. Like
Really?
but Bosnia is very good too.
Okay.
But you think the U.S. is the better team in this matchup?
Yeah, they're favored as much as Spain is against Austria, as Germany was against Paraguay. But of course, it's a World Cup and Germany lost to Paraguay.
Right.
But they are, this would be considered a heavy favorite in any other league around the world.
So if they win, then what happens?
If they win, now you're putting me on the spot.
Sorry.
No, it's fine. I think it's still Belgium or Egypt, so Mo Salah or Kevin De Bruyne. And then if they were to win that, they've never been to the semifinals. They've been to the quarterfinals. And after that, it would probably be Spain. So it gets real heavy.
Okay, so
they're in the round of 32 now.
okay,
And then
so
it's 16.
then it's quarterfinals.
Then it's round of 16, then
Okay.
quarterfinals.
Then quarterfinals. Okay.
Okay. You mentioned some of the upsets. Is that the overall theme right now of the World Cup, or is there a theme? What are we? Just sum it all up for us of what's
Sure.
happened so far.
All
Nick. That's all.
900 games.
Well, right. Well, no, I think honestly the theme has been for one of these rare occasions where the stars have all come out.
Right.
Lionel Messi, Erling Haaland, Kylian Mbappe, even Ronaldo getting a couple goals at 41 years old. The best players are performing. And we know that's usually the case, but they're getting goals and they're getting headlines. And so that's been really exciting. The underdog stories have been great. I think what may become a story after this round is how many teams in the Western Hemisphere, maybe a little bit better, and the African teams, maybe a little bit better adjusted to this heat than some of the European teams.
Which don't play in this kind of setting.
Year-round.
Right.
Oh, I never thought about that. Like the heat probably is playing a huge factor.
Yeah,
in
they don't get a lot of
Toronto.
thunderstorm delays in Europe. Yeah.
Right. And you think about it, you're playing in this heat and humidity for technically 90 straight minutes. There's no football breaks. There's no, this is a different animal to play at that level, that intensity for 90 minutes in that heat and humidity.
See, Patrick, I'm a great example of this because I didn't play soccer till high school.
Okay.
And I thought I was that classic guy who was like, I play hockey. What are these guys doing? And then you're like, oh, I get to wear something here and I can't stop running for an hour and a half.
Right.
And there's a new respect after
that. I remember I played before high school and I just remember, you're on one end of the field and you're like, please don't kick it to the other end because now I got to run.
Right.
It's like playing water polo. I got to go all the way over there only to come all the way
And
back.
I think that watching it, maybe I would have more of an appreciation if I did think, oh my gosh, these guys are still running. I'm just watching it and I'm like, okay, they're not scoring, but they're running the entire time.
Yeah. So last night, I coach a youth team in Clarence, 15 years old, and we have a kid who plays in the back, and I was like, we were winning by a few goals. So I moved him up, and I watched how tired he got. Like, the further you get up the pitch, the more running you have to do.
Right.
Even amongst the players, it's respected.
What's it like for the kids? I mean, since you are coaching them, are they really excited about the World Cup and being even more inspired to perhaps pursue their dreams or say, oh my gosh, look at what these guys can do?
I think it's like when the band from your town goes and gets a record deal or something like that. They're all seeing it, and they're seeing not just people who look like them, but people who come from their cities thriving. And the United States, again, I think they're making believers of even the people who were already kind of believers, because I believe we could be good. I believe by the end of my lifetime we're going to compete well at these tournaments. And again, they could lose tonight. This is a very good team they're playing, and it's a very difficult game, and it's a one-off. But the boys are all talking about it, and they talk about it so much more when it's the U.S. You just can't replicate that. The underdog story. And I hate saying this, and I want to be careful how I say it, but the U.S. are rarely underdogs at this level, especially in sports, because we have so much resources that we've put behind it. So I think being able to root for your country, especially now, right? You guys have to do the news every day. It's tough. So to come together with people and be like, yeah, we're all here for this. Let's go.
Does this kind of match the vibe? I just have my fond memories of the World Cup are '94, the women's team. how exciting. I mean, they became the poster child for
Brandy
Americans.
Chastain. And for sports bras, yes.
100%. And Carlisle,
Carly Lloyd,
all of that. So that was like America just turned into soccer fans, I would say. Are we getting a similar, I mean, I know we're not there yet, but I mean, is it kind of building in that sense, given that the U.S. is doing so well?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
I think so. I mean, it's the one sport, you know, basketball, Team USA is awesome.
Right.
We love it. They usually crush everybody. But there's also basketball teams people support. And with all due respect to MLS, which came out of the World Cup in 1994, people don't all have favorite teams. And some of them, if they have a favorite team, it's in Europe. So this is, hey, we're all together. You like that team, you like that team. You're from Seattle, you're from New Mexico, you're from Buffalo, you're from Tallahassee, Florida. I have a buddy who I played high school soccer with. He runs Dave's Pizza Garage in Tallahassee. And he's telling me, like, people are walking into his place in Florida, which is even less necessarily soccer crazy, right? And they'll walk in and they'll ask him because he's got a soccer thing up on the wall. Hey, how about Team USA, right? So this stuff is, it's transcendent. And our U.S. women's team is a powerhouse. They laid the tracks for us that it could be successful on the men's side, right? Because they've won more World Cups than anybody else. So that's why it doesn't seem like too much of a dream, although it is.
Yeah. And just with 30 seconds left for us to wrap up, you are wearing your FC quarter zips here, your FC Buffalo. What's the latest? What can we look forward to, and what's the process of getting a team here in a stadium here?
Yeah, listen, on the FC Buffalo side, USL2, we're hoping to win on Friday night. We're at home at Buffalo State at 7 o'clock. We're level on points with the first place team, so we're hoping to win our division. You know, in terms of stadiums, Peter Marlette's group at Buffalo Pro Soccer, Peter used to play for us 10 years ago. Again, he is in a really good spot. He knows how to talk to people, and as soon as he gets an owner that meets U.S. soccer standards for liquid assets, and as soon as he gets a stadium, he'll be able to play soon after that. And you know, we're looking forward to that all coming together and slotting into that in some capacity.
Awesome. Nick Mendola with NBC Sports and FC Buffalo. Thanks for being here, for your expertise. We really appreciate it, and we look forward to having you back if the team wins again, we move on. All right, thanks. We'll be right back right after this. Welcome back, everybody. As the nation prepares to celebrate the 250th birthday of our country, there's one very popular tradition that's not going to be happening in downtown Buffalo this year. I actually made my plans to go downtown and watch fireworks.
You, I'm sure, along with many other people, right?
And I can watch them, just the ones at Salem Field, but there's not going to be a canal side fireworks display. What is going on? We've been asking the tough questions, right?
Yeah, well, despite this being America's 250th birthday, the city of Buffalo did make the decision to not do a city-sponsored fireworks show this year, despite what the mayor said back on June 3rd. Take a listen.
For the first time in a generation, the city of Buffalo will be bringing fireworks back to downtown Buffalo.
So when it was announced that they would not be doing a fireworks show, we reached out to the city for an interview. They said that there wasn't anyone available yesterday to speak with us, but they did provide this statement that reads, quote, "An appropriate site could not be identified that would provide a safe and widely accessible viewing experience for residents." And we spoke
here?
Yeah, right.
Or the other place?
Exactly. We spoke with North District Council member Joseph Golombek, who said he was really disappointed by this decision.
And it's just disappointing. It would have been nice if we could have done something like that in Buffalo so that 50 years from now kids could look back and say, oh, I remember this, I remember that. Like I remember my childhood in Riverside with the bells and the fireworks.
And, you know, he mentioned how they've once done one in Riverside Park. Meanwhile, there will be other shows. Russell Salvatore, who once hosted a show downtown, will be hosting a show in Williamsville at his Patriots and Heroes Park on Transit Road. Of course, there will be other shows throughout the area. We have a full list of that on our website, WGRZ.com, but no downtown fireworks on the 4th.
So on the 3rd at the Outer Harbor, M&T is sponsoring fireworks with the BPO. Right. So Outer Harbor works for the 3rd. Why doesn't it work for the 4th? Canal Side, we've had fireworks there before. Russell Salvatore has sponsored them. Why doesn't that work? We have so many questions, and the fact that the city is not making itself available to answer it and then gave us a statement saying we can't find a good place.
Right.
It just doesn't make any sense.
I will also offer
Something
up,
else is going on.
We've known that this was going to be the 250th anniversary of America.
We've known for 250 years.
250 years. Right. So we knew that this was coming.
And he came out less than a month ago and said we are going to celebrate our nation's birthday with fireworks.
And he talked about how
Buffalo.
important it would be to have that show as well. I went back and listened to that interview, and that was one of the things he said. It's important that we show up for our nation and that we do this. We're bringing them back for the first time in a decade. So then to not do it isn't a great look.
Right. What happened? And we're not getting a straight answer.
Yeah.
And so it's our job as journalists to keep asking those questions to find out why our city can't come together and celebrate America's birthday together somewhere in Buffalo on the 4th of July. It's not something that's going to go away. I hope that we continue to ask these questions. Our reporters are on it, and we want to get some answers about, was it a money thing? Was it we just forgot to plan something thing? Is it something deeper? I have no idea, but it just doesn't make any sense.
Well, yeah. And by the way, if they said 30 days ago, did they order the fireworks? They're expensive. Right. And what did they do with them if they didn't?
Did someone think someone else was making the plan?
Are they selling them to somebody else? Yeah.
Well, hopefully we find out. Hopefully someone talks about it today.
Right. And there will be, how much time do we have? Maybe Mother Nature fireworks in the sky.
There could be. Hopefully by fireworks time, any thunderstorms will be done.
All right. Bye, everybody.